Why pay a premium when cheap beef can taste just as tender as filet mignon, all thanks to science? Most people are used to tough cuts forcing them into a chewing marathon, resisting every single bite. Your jaw aches before the meal is even half over. Yet, a truly premium steak melts away. It yields to a butter knife, requiring almost no effort to enjoy. The price tag on the package is often the only perceived difference. Discover the precision temperature and enzyme methods that transform tough collagen into tender, premium quality beef. We are showing you how to bridge that massive gap using precise science, transforming the cheapest, toughest cuts into fork-tender meals that rival prime beef. It all comes down to controlling a few degrees of heat. Cheap cuts like chuck or round are brutally tough because they come from hard-working muscles. Chuck roast, a cow uses its shoulder and leg muscles constantly to walk, stand, and support 1,000 pounds of weight. Because these muscles work so hard, they are heavily laced with connective tissue, primarily collagen. Think of collagen as thick, stubborn rubber bands wrapping tightly around every single muscle fiber. The more the muscle works, the thicker those rubber bands get. Traditional high heat attempts to brute force this collagen to melt. You throw the beef on a blazing hot grill or into a roasting pan. But that intense heat actually causes the muscle fibers to panic and tighten. The fibers seize up instantly. You end up with a dry, firm block of meat. As the science of slow cooking notes, collagen shrinks as the meat temperature rises. To 140-60, more of the protein coagulates, and cells become more segregated into a solid core and surrounding liquid as the meat gets progressively firmer and moister. This means the sudden heat literally squeezes the natural juices right out of the meat cells. The proteins clump together and stiffen up exactly like an egg white turning solid when it hits a hot frying pan. The first major step to fix this toughness is LTL cooking. This technique cooks meat on a highly precise dial, not a crude on and off switch. Instead of blasting the beef with uncontrollable fire, you use a water bath to maintain temperatures exactly between 122 degrees Fahrenheit and 149 degrees. At this specific gentle level, you intentionally hit the collagen's exact breaking point. That tough connective tissue finally starts unraveling, with significant collagen denaturation occurring between 58 degrees C and 60 degrees C. The scientific term for this unraveling is collagen denaturation. It behaves exactly like human hair curling or straightening under heat. The rigid collagen slowly unwinds and melts into silky liquid gelatin. This liquid gelatin is the exact same stuff that makes rich gravy thick or makes jello jiggle. Inside your steak, it acts as a perfect natural lubricant. It coats the muscle fibers from the inside before they ever have a chance to seize up and squeeze dry. You keep the rich, juicy texture without any of the rubbery chew. But the true secret to premium texture lies in activating the meat's own built-in tenderizing system. This process relies on intrinsic biological tools called proteolytic enzymes. Proteolytic enzymes, these are tiny biological scissors that exist solely to cut and break down tight muscle fibers. Two specific types of these biological scissors naturally live right inside the cow's muscle tissue, calpains and cathepsins. If you gently raise the meat temperature, you wake these dormant scissors up. Calpains activate at a very low 103 degrees Fahrenheit. Cathepsins kick in shortly after, right around 49 degrees Celsius. Waking up this built-in system means the critical tenderizing process begins long before the meat even looks or feels cooked. The enzymes start internally slicing the rigid protein structure early. They dramatically tenderize the beef from the inside out, chopping up the tough muscle fibers into short, soft fragments. You are simply letting the beef's own biology do all the hard work for you. This biological reality shows exactly why precision is crucial. You have to maximize both the intrinsic enzymatic activity and the collagen melt without ruining the meat. You must stay above 136 degrees F to melt the collagen bands, but you must stay strictly below 160 degrees to avoid completely firming up the primary muscle proteins. Subscribe, please. Subscribe, please. There is a single temperature barrier which, if crossed, scientifically guarantees a dry, tough result. As meat passes 140 degrees Fahrenheit, 60 degrees, the proteins violently stiffen up. They squeeze out their liquid, bringing us right back to that dry, tough leather you wanted to avoid. If you decide to supplement this natural process with plant-derived tenderizers extracted from pineapple or papaya, exact temperatures matter just as much. Those added protein-cutting substances require a specific window of 122 degrees Fahrenheit to 176 degrees Fahrenheit to actually trigger the chemical reaction. Miss that window and your expensive meat tenderizing powder does absolutely nothing. The final component in this tenderization equation is time. Standard industrial meat aging relies on those exact same intrinsic enzymes. The process uses the calpains, the cathepsins, and a third complex cellular machinery system called proteosomes. But in a traditional butcher's cold locker, these systems work incredibly slowly. For a side of beef to naturally age and become perfectly tender, it must sit undisturbed for a minimum of 14 days. It must be held in a precise chilling range between -1 degree Celsius and 5 degrees Celsius. Cheap meat is tough because it never gets those 2 full weeks. It is packed, shipped, and sold fast to keep costs low. The natural post-mortem tenderization never gets a chance to finish. LTLT cooking short-circuits this entire slow aging process. You bring the meat up to the enzyme's optimal warm temperature fast. You essentially accelerate weeks of expensive dry aging into just a few hours of cooking time. As the culinary site Underbelly points out, the silk purse from sow's ear approach to sous vide has been around a long time. Cook a cheap, tough cut of meat long and low enough and it turns buttery soft, like an expensive cut. You are effectively cheating the system with sustained heat. This is not just high-end culinary theory. The science of tenderization is heavily industry validated. The US government does not just grade your steak based on the white flecks of fat and marbling. In 2011, the USDA introduced the ASTM F2925-11 standard, setting a strict, defined technical measurement standard for food quality. Beef must pass specific mechanical thresholds to be officially labeled certified tender or certified very tender. Tenderness is a predictable, controllable scientific metric. It is not just a subjective marketing term used by butchers to charge you double the price. When you control the heat and the clock, you win every time. As one Facebook user bluntly realized after trying the low-temperature method, cheap meat turned out better than filet mignon. If you want to understand how science enhances the flavor of your steak, not just the texture, check out our video next on perfecting the Maillard reaction. By mastering precise temperature control and understanding enzymatic action, you can confidently turn any cheap, tough cut of beef into a tender steak that truly rivals premium quality. If you liked this, 8 soy sauces and the science of real umami, that's the next one.